All right, this is the beginning. Facebook was the very beginning, but this is going to be my first topic related discussion, and so if you're following my blog, um, this is where the rubber meets the road for me. If you like, first of all, I want to say that my blog started when I was really still lost as a man, and I was a completely different animal then. I had just come out of treatment, and God started creating me, like making me aware. At that time, my vision of romance was really, it was a really dark, like a lot of one night stands in cemetery kind of thing. Like I have a really dark romantic passion because that's what the world gave me. I've always romanced death, and for a long time I romanced the devil, and I was a heroin addict, and so my first writings are, uh, they're not representative of how I feel in any well, when I wrote all that original stuff, I actually had to, like, I did what I do, and I started acting like this character, the vampire, in my stories, and like it was all bad. It was all bad. But the stories, like, there's some value in some of the stories because it's my first bit of creativity. So I'm not gonna apologize for it. I'm just saying it's a different time, and I'm not that man anymore. In fact, I'm not a man at all anymore. I am a spiritual being here to help with making change. And I want to start by saying that tonight I watched my first video I just had. I wanted to see if I could talk. I was trying it, and I spoke for an hour. Well, I'm not, like, I wasn't speaking like I've always spoke, like as Andre. When I was Andre, I couldn't say an intelligent thing at all. And I've always had a mastery with words and poetry and stuff like that, but I couldn't get it out because my mind was muddled with lies of who I was and how I felt about myself, especially. But anyway, so this is going to be the beginning of this is going to be a series, and I'm hoping that this is going to take off because this is really important stuff that I'm talking about here, and I'm here with a really good cause, and this is really the first righteous cause that a man has, that a man is willing to go to war for, and I am ready to go to war, and it's probably going to be a war because I'm going against men. The world is a corrupt and awful place, and God gave us planet Eden with women raising children, spiritual beings, perfect spiritual beings, in a world that's taking care of itself, and it's a flourishing thing, right? And God said, "Here, take care of Eden, and please take care of my ladies." And men said, "No, we're gonna build strip bars and cook up some cocaine, and we're gonna go on a weekend bender. We're gonna burn this thing down, and then we're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, and spit in God's face, and continue to go." And here's the thing: is because of that very first wrong that was chosen. And see when men said that to God, right? They said it to God literally. "No, we're gonna build a strip bar. We got a better idea. You fuck off. We'll see you later. We'll call you when we need you." And women at that time said, "Sounds reasonable." And here we are at this point at 2021, where we have all of mankind's history to look back on and reflect on, and daily life today shows it, especially with COVID. COVID is the quintessential next step for Obama to Trump to global domination, essentially, because everybody's now in their homes and 6 feet apart. So as one global consciousness, as one, we're all of one spiritual body, and we don't have our spirits here on earth, and that's really that's the cause of all of our problems. And I've been taught, I've been training for 50 years in the swill that is American culture. And I've lived the whole thing through, and I've gone down every road, and I lived that way, at feeling it as a piece of shit because I was a man that everybody hated because I was created for a reason, and so everybody had to hate me for me to get here to understand, because I learned everything on my own and I learned everything the hard way, and I have fought to recover from the malady of life. And I am a shadow work expert and a master, and I will easily teach you how to do shadow work. Carl Jung started it, but Maynard is the one that taught me this, and I want everybody to understand something right out of the get-go too, is that my intelligence, my knowledge, my education came only from Maynard James Keenan, the lead singer of the band Tool and of Perfect Circle. Because of my relationship with music in my life, when Maynard came into my life, he started talking about things that nobody ever did that was in my world. I didn't know anything about Carl Jung, and I didn't know anything about higher consciousness and third eye stuff and the 46 and 2 thing. Like, I mean, there's so much, and Maynard, like, I was handed his cassette, the Undertow cassette, and the cover was like, fuck, that's badass, but it could have been like this really weird Morrissey kind of band too. I didn't know. But the moment I put it in, like, just the way they started that album with the, and then the dark, it hooked me. Like, immediately it was like heroin. It was a euphoric feeling in music. And then Maynard started singing and talking, and I, like, it takes a while to get used to a singer and understand what they're saying, and to this day I'm still, I mean, thank God for my iTunes account or my Apple account, because now I can read the lyrics and know exactly what he's saying. But the way he artistically puts his information to the music, other bands put out like 10, 20 albums. Look at Kiss. They put out 500 fucking albums. They put out the same live album like 17 times. But Tool has only put out like five, I can't remember because I'm fucking thick-headed right now, but 5 or 6 albums. But each album, even the EP, the Opiate EP, which I got second, so I had Undertow to go back to, but the Opiate EP, it's just, but everything he said, and his cynicism, and just like he's intelligent, like the opposite of what the education system in America does. He's smart. He's the smartest man out of any man I've ever heard of. Nostradamus, Plato, Socrates. Those guys are fucking retards. So what? They saw the stars. They're right in the sky. Maynard came up with information out of the universe. And the stories I've heard about, I've only heard stories. See, I've never met the man, and he's been the guy that taught me everything. He's given me this college course, and every album is just like, there's so much information in there that it transformed my life. Like, literally, let me reach out into space something, and now I've become this complete spiritual being, and I'm like, he helped me. He gave me the idea of gaining an extra 2 chromosomes, and I just like, God, how much, and this was when I was heroin, suicidal. I was like, God, how much I would love to just become that loving being that just became energy and got to dissipate. I didn't die. I just dissipated, and he made me reach it. And now I become a higher, like I'm not a man anymore. And it doesn't matter what you think, you should listen to me, because I am not a man anymore. I am a spiritual, unified being in my human body, having the human experience. And the fact of the matter is after all my tomfoolery and suicidal heroin use and the romantic garbage and all the horrible things I thought I was never going to get away from, and the empty, sleepy death with nothing to show for my life, right? Like, that's how I thought my life was going to end. And God said, check it out, dude. Boom! And I was literally born in an explosion. This woman that I love, she's my sister. She's been my sister, and she's been here. Like, she's the reason why I'm here. Her and my lovely friend. She's my spiritual sister, right? Like, I didn't know. I was all confused and wanted to be sexual with her, but the whole thing is that she, like, I look at her, she's the girl me, but she's like really awesome. One sec. I love feeling this is tonight has been like this is the most amazing night. I was watching my first video. I just had I got to get on. I got to start getting this information out. And so I said I had a point. I had a point to make, and it was like an hour and 10 minutes of like, oh my God, I was watching myself talk, and it was what was coming out of my mouth was like, oh my God.